So let's start with running the numbers first, because 1 hour of inputs per week allows you to create 2 leveraged assets. And usually one leveraged assets get 1,431 eyeballs. Now, if you create 8 leveraged assets per month, it gets 11,448 eyeballs. Now, if you have a 0.23 ABR, which is definitely not KPI, my KPI is above 1%, but let's say we have the very bad number. From these eyeballs, you get 26 booked calls. And from there, if you have a 20% close rate, the KPI with leveraged assets is 50% though, and you have a $3,000 product, you cash collect $14,985. Now, if you cash collect that much every month, that's going to lead you to a $197,820 per year additional revenue slash income slash profit, because there is no investment for this, only your hour of input, which is just 1 hour of input per week to create these 2 leveraged assets. Now, I know a lot of people who I talk to on SalesCon, these sorts of stuff, really understand the value of this. But the problem is that still they evade them, just like taxes law. But like fundamentally, they understand the power of leveraged assets. All of the people who I talk to on sales calls or in the DMs, they understand the power of leveraged assets. Still they evade them. And like, if you're one of them, you still envy these people. Danko, Charlie Morgan, and Iman Gaji. And why is that? Because they use leveraged assets in a manner that doesn't just add like 180K per year to their income, but more like millions of dollars per year. And so you envy them, but when it comes to actually creating it, you evade them. And even Charlie Morgan posted this on his X. Leveraged assets can significantly enhance business growth by providing authority, appointment flow, and aiding the sales process. And still, you're trying to evade them, just like taxes. And it comes down to your psyche. And we are going to touch on this in a second, but your psyche doesn't allow you to create a leveraged assets. Right now, you're in this current situation. You're either stuck at 20, 30K per month, you make money, but it's not good enough. You don't feel free. Or you have these mundane activities that you have to do lead sourcing, you have to do outreach, you have to do things which you really don't want to do. And the desired outcome where you want to go is at least adding an extra 20K per month to your income, like profit without a lot of headache, because you already scaled higher. You had 20, 30 or 40K per month, but you know how much overhead and pressure that comes with. So you want to add 20K per month without extra pressure or extra overhead. And you want to escape all the mundane activities without being overwhelmed with a huge team doing everything. And the bridge between the current situation you are and the desired outcome you want to get to is leveraged assets. And let me compare it to the common known things that people do, which is IG Reels and cold outreach. So let's start with the cold outreach. What you're doing when you're doing cold outreach is you're chasing clients. Like you're literally going after clients, following up. And you're not building any kind of leverage. There is no overarching success when it comes to cold outreach. While if you would actually think about IG Reels, if you create one good IG Reel, everyone who comes to your page will see it. You attract a lot of eyeballs. With cold outreach, there is no leverage. It's minus leverage, like minus 10. Also, you need massive time and energy to run it. Either you have to do lead sourcing, then you have to actually send outreach, you have to follow up and do these sorts of things. And if you have a team for this or VAs, good for you, but still you need to manage them. And if something breaks in this exact process, you have to solve it, because these people are not going to solve it for you. Now, of course, I have to be 100% certain. I'm 100% certain that this is the best for beginners. If you're a beginner, you have no clue what you're doing, start with Code Outreach. It's perfect. But you, the person who made 10, 20, or 30K per month and is just stuck with these mundane activities that he hates, stop it. Like, this is not the best way to move forwards. Now, of course, if you have a good system, there is no reason to stop it, like stop doing it. But I'm gonna show you a system that's much more high leverage, attracts buyers and compounds. Now, IG Reels, like when you're doing IG Reels, you're chasing literal virality. Like, please, I understand the fact that IG Reels is about chasing virality. And what you're doing is you're not just chasing virality, but attracting non-buyers. The intention when it comes to creating or consuming content on IG is nothing. It's just spending time brainlessly. Do you think you're going to attract the buyers with IG Reels? I think no. Now, of course, I'm not going to say you cannot get clients or attract person who will want to buy, but when you're posting IG Reels, you're only doing is attracting virality or chasing virality and attracting non-buyers in that sense. And IG is just sporadic, man. Like, you get a viral hit, oh my god, I added an extra $1,000 to my income. And like, it goes away. Next month you're at zero, because IG Reels is sporadic. People don't want to listen to you or watch your content. They just randomly seeing you. So it's not the same. There is no intention besides people who are actually consuming the content. Now, one huge thing is that anyone can go viral. You can do stupid stuff and go viral. But is that going to attract to you those people who you want to work with? Most likely not. But you can do it. You can dance. You can do these just dumbass things. Of course, if you're selling a B2C offer, which is very that is for beginners, like, of course that's the best way you can move forward. That's what you need to do in order to get clients. But still, it's just trash. And that's the only thing I will say about IG Reels. Now, while we are doing leveraged assets, we have high leverage, because these videos are not just there to exist or chase virality. It's there to teach, to increase awareness, to get people into a state of not just buying, but taking a look at you as a hero. Now, why I say this is because if you're providing real value through these leveraged assets, people are gonna deem you and take a look at you that you are the hero who has changed their lives. And also you attract buyers, because people who are watching leveraged assets, they are intentional viewers. They are not there to consume stupid stuff. They are there to intentionally consume knowledge about a specific problem. And leveraged assets compound. The more leveraged assets you build, the more compounding effect you're going to have, because the more value you provide into the market, the more value out you're going to get from the market. So the more you provide valuable content, the more valuable, meaning money, you're going to get out of this market. That's why it compounds. And also, the people who watch your first leveraged asset are going to watch your next one, and the next one, and the next one. So they aren't ready to buy at the first one, they will buy later down the line. Now, I've said something right here that needs expertise, and it's not yellow, it's not green, and it's not red. Why is that? Well, let me remove what is leveraged assets. Leveraged assets are valuable content that you create to YouTube, which solves specific problems to a specific ICP, which will make them trust you and later down the line buy your high ticket offers, just as we have run these numbers right here. Now, why do I have this right here, the yellow thing, like needs expertise? Why isn't it green and why isn't it red? The reason why it's yellow is because it can be an advantage, but also a disadvantage based on where you're approaching it. If you're the type of person who wants to succeed without doing anything, needing expertise for you is a disadvantage. But those people who have already have scaled to 10, 20, 30K per month, and they have the knowledge, they have the expertise, this is the advantage, because no one is going to be able to take this competitive advantage from them, because this is something you build over the time, and people can come and start creating videos. They can get more views, it doesn't matter, because the value in equals value out. And so you're compounding win over any kind of new competitor that comes to this platform. And that's why leveraged assets is the best way to close and get clients in 2025 in the trust recession, where viewers don't trust anyone on the internet who has a link in the bio, like literally. So with that said, now that you understand what is really leveraged assets and why that's the best decision you can make in your life, let me explain through your psyche why you're not succeeding or you haven't even started it yet. So let me explain. You deeply understand the value of the leveraged assets, but still you haven't given it your 100% energy. Let me explain. You think either it's a long-term play, oh my God, it's just going to be long-term. Or right now I'm focused at my agency, I'm focused at my Shopify store, I'm focused on X, Y, and Z. Or I need to make X, Y, and Z amounts until I could start. I had a person saying on a sales call that I don't want to start until I made 50K a month. And like, where are you right now? Like 10. And I'm like, what? Like, you don't think there is someone on the other side of the screen who would get value from you if you would explain how you got to 10K per month? Truth is, these thoughts you have and see right here, this is not you. Because you wouldn't pass an opportunity to work for 1 hour per week and add an extra 180K per year in profit, pure profit. So, truth is that this is your psyche, and let me explain why, and then you make a decision where you're going to go. This is the survival mechanism in biological creatures. So this is your current situation. Your goals haven't been achieved. Like, you have bigger goals, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50K a month. And this is the place where you want to be. This is your desired outcome, where you have achieved these goals. Now, in between, there must happen an identity shift, because if we do not reach our goals, we become the type of person who can reach our goals. Now, what does that mean? Is that you need to kill your own identity right now in order to become this type of person. But there is a big problem with it. There is no biological creature which wants to die. Like, literally, there is none. And so when you're trying to become this new type of person by creating leveraged assets and putting your time and energy there because you know it's going to bring back the best results possible, what happens is that your mind tells you these kinds of ideas because your psyche wants to be alive. Because if your psyche would shift into this person, it would reach the goals. And this psyche would die. And so how it's trying to survive is through giving you those. So this is the best one. Your old psyche fights for its survival by making you blind for your own limiting beliefs. Literally, this happens. You are here right now and you want to get to your next desired outcome. And what's happening is that your old psyche is making you blind for these limiting beliefs, when all you need to do is implement 1 hour per week into creating leveraged assets that can add an extra 180K per year, but still you're thinking that it's not possible. Because your old psyche fights for the survival by making you blind. So, right now you can decide. You can either change and become the new type of person who start creating leveraged assets by taking a look at my YouTube channel and seeing exactly what, where to do and how to create these. Or you can remain in your old self, do the mundane activities, cry that you can't crush your goals, look for other solutions, which is never going to work because you know that YouTube is the play, but still you're trying to convince yourself it's not. So you can decide which one do you want to be, your old self, or do you want to change? Now, with that said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.